The last few days, I've given a number of one-on-one coaching sessions, and a similar topic came up a number of times, so I thought I'd discuss this topic here. And it is, how is it possible that we are aware of certain patterns, and this might be for a number of years, but still, every time we get triggered and we end up walking through the same patterns over and over again. And I'd like to make use of an example that I experienced myself with heartache. So it was clear for me, I broke up, this is already quite some years ago, after a very intense period of being in a relationship with this girl. And it was clear that it was the best thing to break up, and there was no desire to get back together. But still, I would find myself, whenever I saw someone in the corner of my eye that looked like her, that my heart rate would go up, and I would look if it's her. And similarly, if I would be in the city where she lived, I noticed myself looking around and observing if I would find her. So it was interesting to see that on a mental level I had let go, but on a physical level there was still this conditioning there. And that is the crux, that is what is the essence of why these patterns keep on persisting. It is because you can let go on the level of the head, but your system, your body, has ingrained these memories also and these patterns. So that's why people can go for literally decades to a psychiatrist, but they find themselves being triggered and triggered over and over again. So it's important to not forget the body, to also incorporate and let go of this conditioning that's in the system. So what I found to be quite helpful was a simple idea I came up with, and that is to have my iPad with a slideshow of pictures of her and us together and have it loop. And I would sit down every day for a week for around 20 minutes, and I'd meditate and become completely silent and observe whatever is going on in the system. And that's the most important thing. You become aware of the sensations in your body, in your system, and even thoughts that might come up, but you just observe them. You don't follow them. And then, at a certain moment, I would open up my eyes, see the picture on the slideshow on my iPad, and then close my eyes again. And I would be so aware of what was happening in the system just by this small trigger of seeing one picture of my ex-girlfriend or us together. Doing this is a very subtle way of exposing your body, your system, to that what normally triggers you and takes you over. And becoming aware of what this does creates a space around it. It shines your light of your awareness on whatever is happening, allowing for it to be let go of slowly and slowly. Where normally things are too intense and would trigger you completely and take you over, now there's enough awareness around it for you to see the pattern and to completely embrace it with your consciousness. This can be done in different circumstances, not just heartache, anything that seems to keep on triggering you without you consciously trying to grasp and hold on. It's not just the mental part, but actually in your cells, your memory is ingrained also. And as long as not just the mind, but as long as not the body is taken care of also, it will keep on perpetuating. So I hope this is helpful. For me, it was so simple doing this practice for 1 week straight, 20 minutes per day. And I noticed what came up. I started to notice what was the essence that resulted in this clingy behavior, resulting in the pattern coming up and up and up every time I would see someone resembling her. And there was a physical contraction in the back of my heart, between my shoulder blades. And if I dove into what it was clear that it was a certain sadness, a certain maybe guilt even of how the relationship ended. Now, I was blessed that I was able to get in contact with her and talk to her about this. And it was a very liberating, very healing experience. And ever since, I simply don't find myself acting out the same patterns that I used to do. So this is a very simple, a very gradual and soft way to expose yourself to that what normally triggers you, but in a circumstance, in a situation where you're completely aware. And that is all that's needed. Complete awareness to whatever it arises in the moment will allow for the destructive patterns to slowly melt away. I hope this is useful for you. Talk to you soon.